Hey guys, so this is my budget Manaforged arrows build. It's based on palsterons build, but it just uses like basic items. The whole budget of this build is less than 10 divines, and it's mostly a mapping focused build. So I'm just going to show you guys a map, and then we will check out some bossing, but it's mostly for mapping. Let's see. Okay, this map looks like a good map, and I am running growing hordes, so I'm just going to take some scarabs. These are fine, whatever. All right. um, the scabs don't matter because I'm running growing hordes over here, so I just want pack size. Anyways, let's run it searing exarch, and let's just do ambush. Okay, just going to show a quick showcase of the mapping, and then we will just check out bossing and see how it goes. But this build is mostly for mapping, speed mapping. That's like really good clear speed, and it's not that squishy. Like I've reached level 96 without much trouble. It's definitely a don't get hit playstyle though, so you need to keep moving around. Okay. So with the strong boxes, I can tank most ice novas, so it's not a big problem. Um, it's the DD which you need to look out for. So just move out a little bit away from the strong box when you open it. It's not a magic find character. Like I've got 0 magic find on this character. It's just for like farming legions and stuff. Right now I'm not focusing on legion because the legion scarabs are like really expensive. So this is like a super budget strat. And as you can see, like I'm earning quite a lot of bit of currency in this map, and I've not even like juiced it too much. And let's see how this legion goes. So in cemetery, legion can be a bit weird because it might get hard to like figure out. I mean, open the whole legion, but I get most of it. Yeah, there you go. With 5 seconds remaining, so sometimes like if they're in corners and stuff, it can get hard. But this build has like screen wide clear, so it's really good for legion farming. Okay. Let's see, why is this thing okay? Okay, I'm just gonna go and kill the boss, and then as you saw, that was a ghosted boss, and he just like vanished. The damage is not bad, honestly. It's like maybe I think it's around 10 million damage if you like count everything. Okay. All right. So that was the map. Okay. Let's see. Hate picking up fractured items. It's like. Okay. Is that T1? That's D1. Okay. Useless. Alright. Let's go and check out some bossing footage. This character is really not built for bossing, but I will try to do an invitation and see how it goes. I might die and might fail the invitation, but well, I think I should be able to do it. Don't really know, but let's just try it. Oh, I forgot to do the crucible. Damn it. Let's see if I do have a crucible item. Okay, I'll just show the crucible before doing the bosses. Okay, this is the Chaos Crucible, so it's taking... Okay, well, this is a bit of a scary map. Oh, it's turbo and LE-res. So yeah, sometimes Crucible can be a bit sketch, but sometimes it works out. And this was a terrible tree, but whatever. Let's move on to showing the boss showcase. Let's see. Monster Life. Oh, that looks difficult, but let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm lagging. Okay, so the big problem is going to be Drox. But okay. Well, that was bad. Oh god, I can't see anything on the screen. There's too much. Okay, so well, not too bad. We died once. I'm not gonna take it out of the recording because it happens. This is really not a bossing build, but as you can see, we were still able to do it. Just run around like a chicken and keep shooting your arrows, and you will kill them. It also had monster life, so yeah, kind of a scary one. But as you can see, oh, I had actually not done that fight yet, so I get a point. Yay. I am going to allocate it here. That's fine. Okay, I'm just going to quickly talk about the build and the skills that I'm using, and why did I pick up all this junk? But whatever. We'll talk about the gear first, and then I'll talk about the passive tree, and yeah, then the skill gems is the most important part. So for the gear, you want a bow, and you want to look for this mod. This is the most important one. You want either T2 or T1. That is either 20% cooldown recovery or 25%. So the 25% ones are more expensive. These ones are cheaper. On the other ones, you are looking for crit chance. Sometimes you might get crit with low attack speed. That's fine. You don't really care for attack speed at all, so never take attack speed for these weapons. This one, a high LE damage roll, whatever. You want a high LE damage bow, so you try to get a high roll, but this really doesn't matter that much. You want this and you want this. and the crucible tree. And then you just want to have a basic 6 link LE damage bow. This is for, I got this for 3 divines. And honestly, I paid a bit too much because it's like really bad. It's got like T4 cold damage and then T3 lightning damage, and then the suffixes it's like Dex and Chaos Res, like whatever. But it does, and then I had to craft crit chance. You don't really want attack speed on your weapon at all, so this one is 1.46, and that's too much. So I mean, it's not, attack speed doesn't hurt, but doesn't help at all because we are relying on proc rate. On your gloves, you want a lot of accuracy because we need it somewhere, and just res. You don't need that suppress. I just got it because I don't really know what else to roll for, and crit chance. But over here, we could this could definitely be improved. I just like rolled with whatever I had. This will cost you maybe like 15C. The belt you're looking for life, LE damages attacks, and then whatever you can get, but you want 1 suffix open to craft cooldown recovery. So 9 over here and 20 over here, so you already have 29. On your boots, you want cooldown recovery. You ideally want 20%, but 15% will do, and for the budget you should go for the 15% one because otherwise you need Maven Orbs, and those are expensive. So this is just the life. Even life is shitty on this. Life, cooldown recovery, movement speed, and nothing else. Belt, boots. For your rings, okay, so I'll go over the rings later on. I'm just using a high desire. It has suppress, it has cold damage, it's good. If you want, you can run Queen of the Forest, but since you don't have an Omni, you really need damage in this build, and so you basically you should get damage wherever you can, and so I decided to go for Hyries. And on your helmet, you just want you just buy a base with Grace has mana reservation. Those I got you around like 60-70 chaos, and then just spam greed essences till you can get something usable. I just got some essence like lightning res, fire res, and max life. And then you want to craft reduce mana cost of attacks. That's really important. Now the tier on that, this is like tier basically the greater one, so that's like 2 chaos per try. But yeah, for this version, this will do perfectly fine. You don't need 26%, 22% is fine. Then on your quiver, you want crit multi damage, cold damage to attacks, or lightning damage, whatever attack to attacks, any damage with attack skills, prod speed, and basically prod speed, as much prod speed as you can, because we are using that prod speed is equal to projectile damage mastery. For your amulet, you want to look for crit multi because we're not using Omni, and these amulets are really cheap. Like, look at this amulet, it's like pretty cool. I mean, pretty good without. I'll tell you why I crafted the low level non-channeling later, a bit later. But you just want res, crit multi, LE damage attacks, and ideally you would have life on this, but well, I really wanted to get a budget amulet, and this one I got for like 80 chaos, and then I just put Vengeance Cascade on it. So overall, I think this will cost you 1 divine. So just like taking the whole cost of the gear, and these rings are like super cheap, like 40-50C each. This one costs 3 divines, this one costs 2 divines, and this one costs 1 divine. So that's like 6 divines over here, and everything else is basically 50 to 60 chaos each. So overall, all the rest combined would be like 2 divines. So that's 8 divines and gear. And then gems, I have no level 21 or quality gems. I just have level 20 gems. Okay, this one has got some quality on it, but I bought for like 10C. And you don't need Wildeye Shot, you just want to get level 21. Usually you should have level 21 of all these skills, but I will go over the gems later on. Quick note about why I have like this is 7 but this is like 5 and 4. Like, why have I done it that way? You want your burning arrow to cost 1 mana. Basically, if I had like 6 or 7 over here, then this would be 0 mana and I wouldn't get inspiration charges. You want your burning arrow to at least cost 1 mana so that you can get your inspiration charges. Okay, I will go over the tree, and then quickly after that I will go over the skill setup. For the tree, it's a basic projectile damage tree. I'm not using any clusters, no expensive jewels. Like this is like a 5 chaos jewel. This is brutal restraint I got for 80 chaos. It just has some crit chance and projectile damage, that's all, and some core res. Okay, this guy wants a belt. I'll just sell that to him. Okay, as I was saying, for leveling, I just use lightning or eye shot, and you don't need to basically change your tree at all. You can just go with this for your leveling. Start over here, get your aspect of the links, then go here, go for damage, life, and then start speccing into more damage. I did go for precise technique when I was leveling up, but I unspec from that once I reached level 70 and spec into crit. Moving on. Okay, now the most important part. Let's go into the gem setup. Okay, as you can see, when I'm firing this Scourge arrow, all my Manaforged arrows are triggering, and basically they're like flying everywhere. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Manaforged arrows set up. No, sorry, actually 3. This is my aura setup, and this is my... Okay, so I have 3 Manaforged arrows set up, and as you can see, so over here I have like, you want to get quality on your Manaforged arrows though, so that you have 10. You want overall 52 cooldown recovery. So over here you get 10, 20, 30, 30 plus 9, 39, and 15 over here is a bit overkill, but you get like 54, and you're looking for 52, so that you get the proc rate should be 0.32 cooldown time. You can, if you get better items, you can try for 69. That's your next breakpoint, but that is a lot more. You need a lot more investment for that. Let's go over the gem setup. Our main setup is actually Ice Shot, Lightning Arrow, and Burning Arrow, supported by Manaforged, Inspiration, and Awaken Elite Damages attacks. This Awaken Elite Damages attacks is actually really expensive. There's like 4 divines, but I just put it in right now to like, because I had it remaining from another character. For a long time I was just using Elite Damages attacks, the normal version, like the level 21. This one makes your skills cannot be reflected, but I don't have it over here, so it doesn't really matter for me. I always have to use this. I basically use this sextant. You can get it from, you can buy for like 20 EC, and you have like 16 uses of this, and you basically can like ignore reflect on maps, and that's really useful, because other than reflect I can run every single map mod, and reflect is the only problem, and so I get that and I just like roll my wall and add my maps and don't really look at it. I just run them. Going over the next one, we have Galvanic Arrow, Blast Rain, Caustic Arrow, linked to Manaforged, Power Charge and Crit, and Inspiration. Here is where we are getting all our power charges. Then we have Puncture, Frenzy, Ensnaring, and Manaforged. This Ensnaring and Puncture, they don't do anything with bleed or the slowing thing. It's just that they have high base damage. This is just basically damage setup. And Frenzy, because you Frenzy charges, and it does pretty okay damage. So, yeah. So these are my 3 Manaforged arrow setup, and I'm running Grace and Haste, because this is a mapping build. But for bossing, you would use Anger over here instead of Grace, and your damage would increase by like 20%, because we really don't want like excess, we don't need attack speed at all. And so Anger would give me a lot more damage, and then I could replace my shitty jewel over here with the Anger Watcher's Eye, crit multi Watcher's Eye. That's like maybe 2 divines, and that would basically give me like around 40% more damage, and I would have been like you're able to kill bosses like way faster. But this is, again, as I said, a mapping build, and so I focused mostly on speed and mapping. I have marker on hit, sniper's mark. This is like, because you're Deadeye, you get lots of effect of your marks, and so basically with sniper's marks you basically do double damage almost. Let's see, anything else I missed out? Yeah, of course I'm running Grace. That's our only layer of defense. We don't have any other layers of defense other than Grace and spell suppression. This is like a don't get hit build. As you saw in my mapping, I did not die, but I did die to bosses in the invitation. This is, again, as I said, the defenses are built for mapping. You run so fast and you clear whole screens that you never really die. And I'm level 96, and I have like died 31 times, so that's really not a lot for such a squishy character. I around like 15 of those were like leveling, because I was just like bum rushing bosses. I did not really have good leveling gear. I did not care for it, so I've only died like 15 times or 15 or 16 times since level 70 to level 96, and it's all been farming like juiced, not super juiced, but like kind of juiced maps. What did I forget? Yeah, so other than that, I have Scourge Arrows, Faster Attacks, Blink Arrow, Culling Strike. And this one is basically, you want the faster attacks is actually for the culling, for the Blink Arrow, and not for the Scourge Arrow, because Scourge Arrow is already really fast. It has like a crazy high attack speed, so you really don't need much faster than this. And the way, if you don't know like how the Manaforged arrows works, it basically says that your supported skills are triggered if you spend 300% of their mana cost. And our Scourge Arrow is a channeling skill, and it still costs 5 mana. So basically that's my skills are triggering every single time I cast Scourge Arrow. So basically it's like, you don't need, I actually really don't need this much attack speed, because my cooldown time is like 0.32 and Scourge Arrow is like 0.15, so I could have a much lower Scourge Arrow and still do perfectly fine. Anyways, as you can see, only my Burning Arrow costs any mana. Everything else is actually basically free. All my skills, Lightning Arrow, all of these are free. Like, they don't cost any mana, because we want only Burning Arrow to cost mana, and that is so that we can get our inspiration charges. This is a lot of damage. Alright, and I think I have gone over pretty much everything, and so this is like the super budget version. I am going to transition, of course, to an Omni build, and that will basically, I have like 21 divines now, but I also have a lot of sextants and stack decks to sell, a lot of junk currency, a lot of these to sell, and yeah, basically I have around like maybe 20 maybe like 36 to 40 divines, and that is actually what you need to transition into Omni, because first of all the Omni costs 22 divines, and then you need to buy all the Omni gear. That would cost you like minimum, I would say 25 to 25 divines, because you really need a good ring, you need a synthesized belt, you need basically attributes everywhere you can, and yeah, all of that costs a shitload of money, a shitload of divines basically. And yeah, I've actually collected a lot of essences, and I'm of course going to use harvest to convert them to as many as I can to rage or sorrow or spite essences, because you want to like really spam that on fractured gear to get your Omni gear working. So crafting Omni gear is like way cheaper than actually buying it straight off. Yeah, maybe I'll go over that in the next session on how I transition to Omni. But yeah, this is like, this whole character is under 10 divines, and as you can see, it wrecks maps and it can do invitations. So we did that invitation with 1 death because I played like a stupid idiot, but it's definitely possible to like do invites, deathless, and do bossing on this. I wouldn't say like Uber bossing is possible because you just don't have the defenses, but everything else till then is totally possible with the Scar, and it's a mapping beast. All right, if you have any questions, send them to me in chat and I will answer them. Or I mean, by chat I mean my YouTube comments. I don't stream. Um, just used to streamers saying that a lot. So, all right. Okay then. Thank you guys. Bye.